again, it's like they're convicting him before, him being judged by a jury or a bench trial or, whatever he chooses. This is crazy, right? But it's not as crazy as, again, right here. We'll just put them on full blast. Broward County Sheriff's Office. They're not being accused of, or this isn't an alleged story. These are actual facts that they have been, again, cooking the cocaine and selling it to the people who reside within that county. This is, let's talk about stuff that we know are actually facts right now, right? This is not alleged. Currently, they being the Broward County Sheriff Department, the good old order fraternal police department, peoples and all of this and all of that, they're being forced to overturn over 2,000 convictions because they use the cocaine that they manufactured and cooked themselves. Like, I would really like to see, the docs on this, right? Like, was they using a microwave? Or was they stall topping that boy? Like, kind of shit. Crazy. And you actually are out here putting it back into the streets. Man, if this, oh my God, take me down. Let me tell you something. You would have never thought, although we're not surprised. We're not surprised one bit. Let me say that. But the fact that it's playing out in real time for the world to see is what's, surprising. Surprising that they even let this story get out. Let me turn the music off so y'all can hear them say this for themselves. Again, Florida, the young flower on the map, right? Broward County on the map, on the radar again and again and again. And we know why, but we'll get to that later. Let's see what happened. Let's turn the music off right quick and get into this bill. They are cooking the cocaine themselves. Yeah, that's what they doing. What do we got? Okay, I'm on the wrong one. My bad, y'all. So let me turn that off. And there are quite a few news channels who release this information. Right here, we have WPLG Local 10, right? And this is an attorney.
They did find that people who were arrested for buying this stuff should have their cases cleared. But the state attorney now has found that hasn't happened for possibly thousands of cases. Now he wants to help. It was the height of the crack cocaine epidemic for the Broward Sheriff's Office.
Open it up. More!
And one tactic that made headlines?
They decided, we're going to manufacture our own crack and have detention deputies pose as drug dealers out on the streets.
The drugs are being cooked on.
I gotta go back because once the video is done and I hit y'all with another video, I want to know how many cities this Broward County encompass, right? I know a couple, but I want to know all of them because I see Fort Lauderdale, and I was thinking a little bit more north, but we're going to figure this out together.
County are finally being cleared.
Those accused of buying crack made by law.
And decades in Broward County are finally being cleared.
Those accused of buying crack made by law enforcement could soon have their records vacated. Local 10's Janine Stanwood is live to explain. Janine. Decades ago, when Nick Navarro was sheriff, BSO actually cooked its own crack cocaine in this building right here to use for undercover drug busts. The courts found that wasn't unconstitutional within itself, but they did find that people who were arrested for...
When they're saying BSO, again, they're talking about the Broward County Sheriff's Office. So I'll just, you see they're not saying it. You can see the emblem right here. Right here. Now to go back, let's go.
Bus. The courts found that wasn't unconstitutional within itself, but it cooked its own crack cocaine in this building. When Nick Navarro was sheriff, BSO actually cooked its own crack cocaine in this building right here to use for undercover drug busts. The courts found that wasn't unconstitutional within itself, but they did find that people who were arrested for buying this stuff should have their cases cleared. But the state attorney now has found that hasn't happened for possibly thousands of cases. Now he wants to help. It was the height of the crack cocaine epidemic for the Broward Sheriff's Office.
Open it up. More!
And one tactic that made headlines?
They decided, we're going to manufacture our own crack and have detention deputies pose as drug dealers out on the streets.
The drugs are being cooked at the courthouse on the 7th floor.
The state Supreme Court ruled in 1993 the practice was outrageous, and those arrested should have their records cleared.
He was found not guilty.
Now, more than 30 years later, State Attorney Harold Pryor announcing there could be thousands still on the hook, and the state has an obligation to fix it.
1989, 1990 is when I actually started going out, selling crack cocaine.
Raymond Hicks says he was one of those detention deputies turned undercover dealers.
It didn't sit right with me because, working in law enforcement, you're saying, how could a department manufacture their own drugs and give it to us to be sold in the street?
Funny enough, it didn't put a dent in the crack problem.
Attorney Ed Hogue represented many of those arrested.
For 30 years now, these people have been convicted felons. So anytime they go to apply for a job, anytime they try to vote, they can't vote.
It's not clear how long it might take to clear arrest records, but current Sheriff Gregory Toney is on board, telling Local 10 in part, I find the actions of my predecessor to be a miscarriage of justice. Law enforcement officials must never become so desperate in our pursuit to apprehend criminals that we compromise our own integrity.
I think it's a great thing that he's doing, and I'm hoping and praying that it'll bring these people some closure.
The state attorney's office.
Now you can imagine there are individuals locked up right now, if I'm not mistaken. They say they started doing this in 1993. I did not hear an ending date as to when they stopped this practice of cooking the cocaine and actually redistributing it back onto the street or to the street. Because I'm not hearing them say where it came from. Right?